So in my last video, some of you were so pleasant and nice about my foundation-free appearance that we're going with this today. Look, the hair's not even been straightened. Just letting myself go, one video at a time. Something amazing caught my attention the other day that I want to talk about, and I think some of you lot probably already know what's coming. Demi Lovato got into a fight with frozen yogurt and lost. I think the entire situation is bafflingly out of touch and funny, so we're going to look at that. But first, I have to let you know that today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where literally millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. With thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics including illustration, design, photography, video, freelancing, and more. Don't believe me? I don't blame you, but listen to this list of all the class topics. Illustration, graphic design, photography, UX, UI design, creative writing, animation, fine art, music production, film and video, marketing, productivity, freelance and entrepreneurship, web development, and crafts. Skillshare is for anyone, for lifelong learners, newbies, or creative and curious people. Most classes are under 60 minutes with short lessons to fit any schedule. And members get unlimited access to thousands of inspiring classes. Can you see how inspired I am right now? Let the inspiration flow through you. Do you know what? I'm feeling rather dignified and sophisticated this month, so I'm going to look at the classes of fine art. Oh, look at this class by Roman Muradov, Illustrating with Ink, Techniques for Brush and Pen. So finally, I can rewrite the final chapter of Attack on Titan. And remember, Skillshare is specifically curated for learning, meaning there are no ads. And it works out to less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in my description box will get a free trial of a premium membership. So check out Skillshare today. Don't let your dreams just be dreams. Go forward and rewrite the ending of Attack on Titan with the skills that you pick up in the art classes in Skillshare. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring today's video. Now let's see a celebrity fight frozen yogurt.
What's up, everybody? I am trying to set my phone up. Okay, so maybe this will work. Actually, I'll hold it.
Let's be really nitpicky. Why is it that mainstream celebs don't know how to work technology properly? Zoella would never.
So I have kind of gotten in the middle of something.
That would imply that you almost stumbled upon something. You're the one who started the fight with frozen yogurt.
With this yogurt shop called The Big Chill in Century City. Now, I am very outspoken about the things that I believe in. I understand that sometimes my messaging can lose its meaning when I get emotional, right? I am human. I am somebody who is just very passionate about what I believe in, and I've lived through enough to know when to speak up for people who don't have a voice.
On paper, in video, shall we say, that's, yeah, good for you, speaking up with people about a voice. But who was complaining about this in the first place? Who was the mass voiceless, terrified about the tyranny of sugar-free frozen yogurt? I'm sorry, but this is so stupid. Trying to dress this up as she really thinks that she did something here.
As someone that deals with an eating disorder, is in recovery from an eating disorder, I still to this day have a hard time walking into a froyo shop, ordering yogurt, and being content with it and keeping it down. I know that seems like not a huge deal to a lot of people, but for me it is.
I understand. I understand where she's coming from. But when in recovery from things, it's important to manage your triggers. It would be like if I went into a restaurant and started getting irate that they were selling alcohol. Do you know what I mean? Whilst I find the idea of getting into a fight with frozen yogurt funny, I do have some sympathy here, but when in recovery from things, it's important that you manage your own reactions and your own triggers, because the world isn't going to do that for you. Why do I feel like I'm having a hot take by saying that? Look, right, I watch TV, I try and watch any show and they're always drinking alcohol. And yes, it gets to me sometimes, but I just have to, work through that, right? I can't message the producers of How I Met Your Mother or literally any TV show ever and be like, how dare you show them responsibly drinking a beer after, how dare you? Do you know what? I just scrolled down in the comments momentarily and someone made that exact point. My dad is a recovering alcoholic. He doesn't get mad or offended when we go out to eat in the restaurant, has a full bar in plain view. He says it's part of recovery. He learned to live in a world of alcohol despite the fact he can't have it. He understands most people can enjoy a drink, but he can't. He gets that. It's time that Demi learns that. Plus, I really have to stress here that it's not like she came across an advert on the tube station about being Beachbody ready that was promoting like extreme diet pills, or came across something of that caliber. This is just a frozen yogurt shop having signs out saying, like sugar-free for people with medical issues like diabetes or celiac, or we'll get to that.
So by the time I got to the counter, after seeing so much diet stuff and health food stuff, it wasn't clear to me that it was for specific health needs. And so I didn't know that. I just took it as, okay, I'm going into a froyo shop, I'm seeing sugar-free, I'm seeing this and that. If there was a sign that said celiac, vegan, I would have understood. That would have been clear messaging to me.
Yeah, but the counter argument is that maybe a lot of people don't want their medical conditions out there listed to have to go up to the counter and be like, I would like this because I have this medical condition. That's a privacy thing. Hence why they use labeling fat-free, sugar-free, etc. rather than this medical condition. You wouldn't call yogurt that. It's just, what is this? This is really a non-issue. It's like in Boots, where there's that entire sugar-free section, and it's for people who need to manage and control their sugar intake. Maybe not for dietary issues, but maybe because they have diabetes. I don't know the differences between types. Maybe they have a form of diabetes where they need to control it and they don't feel like buying something that tells the world that they have a medical...
Because it wasn't clear, I'm definitely jumped to conclusions and probably shouldn't have gone about this the way that I have, but...
You can see how unwilling she is to do this entire, is it an apology? By the whole, I probably shouldn't have done that, but... So here's a bit of what she put on Instagram. Lovato first posted to her Instagram story on Sunday, calling out the Big Chill with a series of text posts. Finding it extremely hard to order froyo from the Big Chill official when you have to walk past tons of sugar-free cookies, other diet foods before you get to the counter. Do better. Please, obviously, sugar-free doesn't connote diet food. It can be medical issue food. But here's the thing. She could have easily just messaged them privately if she felt this was the case. But Demi Lovato has 102 million followers on Instagram. So even if you didn't intend to... you did intend to publicly shame, right? Otherwise you wouldn't have made it public. You would have privately messaged them. But when you have a platform this big, 102 million followers on Instagram, if you're going to put a company on blast like that, it's kind of going to come across as very one-sided and bullying behavior because you have such a large platform. If you have a platform of 100 million people on Instagram, you can't really, and this might seem unfair, but with such a large platform, you can't really go about Instagram or social media the same way you would if you had 5,000 or 500 followers. Because look, 100 million people, and she called out a froyo shop saying that they were enabling eating disorders by being inclusive of people with medical issues. And this was a small business. They now have about 46,000 followers from all of this, I think up from 5,000. So it's a small business. Like, of your 100 million followers, how many of them reached out to the, you have to be more aware of your platform when it's that big. 100 million, that's huge. And let's not even get into the discussion of what a difficult year it's been for small local businesses.
I'm willing to talk to this froyo shop to help get the messaging right.
Wow, no wonder Gabby Hanna retweeted that screenshot of Demi Lovato. They're similar, aren't they? I'm willing to, the great Demi Lovato, I am willing to help this shop get the messaging right because they don't know what they're doing, clearly.
I know that people struggle with froyo, with eating disorders. So that's why I'm super sensitive when I walk into a froyo place and I see diet stuff. Like, I'm gonna be protective. I'm protective of the little girl inside of me that didn't get that representation at a young age of someone saying, all of this diet stuff is not okay. You're worth more than that.
But sugar-free and dairy-free isn't just for people who have eating issues or want to lose weight in a healthy way. It's also for people who need to manage their blood sugar levels or are lactose intolerant. I feel like I'm just going to repeat myself.
I also am standing up for just anyone who struggles in LA. Like, you know what? The whole country, fuck it. Like,
what a martyr. Speak your truth. You feel the way you feel when you got triggered by frozen yogurt. I get it. But I really feel that she's trying to dress up into something that's bigger than it is to kind of martyr herself a little bit to justify the position she took when she bashed a small business in front of 100 million people. Do you know what I mean? Am I being unfair? I'm open to criticism. I'm open to being wrong about this, but it's not sitting right with me.
I left that yogurt store and didn't get the yogurt that I wanted. And then I had a hard time the rest of the weekend, to be totally transparent. And that's probably something that nobody wants me to say. Like, I don't know, but I'm human and I talk about my struggles and I'm passionate. So I'm sorry that I got the messaging wrong. I'm sorry that I may have disappointed some people, but I'm not coming after a small business as someone with a lot of followers. That's not what I'm doing here.
Yeah, but that's kind of what you did, though. Also, next time, learn to say I'm sorry in a more convincing manner.
I walked into a situation that didn't sit right with me. My intuition said, speak up about this, so I did.
But she didn't walk into a situation. She's created a situation. The other day, and I'm going to talk about this in probably the next video, I did a little bit of a naughty thing, hotly contested in the alcohol addiction community. I'll get into it in more detail. Had a really bad day. Went to a restaurant. Lockdowns have eased in England. They had non-alcoholic beer. Very innocent to people who don't have addiction issues with alcohol. They had non-alcoholic beer. I decided to have some because I was just being crazy and reckless because I didn't manage myself properly in that situation. So I was having a bad day and I was already, whatever, I'll talk about it in a later video. But I created that situation. I'm the one that, it's not the restaurant's fault for having the non-alcoholic beer on the menu. I'm the one that decided to order it. It didn't go further than non-alcoholic beer, don't worry, but I'll talk about this in an upcoming video as to why not going to do that again. But I still created that situation and I take responsibility for that. Regardless of whether I was having a, extenuating circumstances aside, ridiculously bad day, is what it is. I created that situation. I didn't walk into a situation where, they just had non-alcoholic beer and I got a little bit triggered and yada, yada, yada. Do you know what I mean?
And I feel good about that. What I don't feel good about is some of the way that it's been interpreted and how the message has gotten misconstrued over all of it. I will do whatever I can to work with this froyo shop if they want to to help align the messaging so where I feel safe going in there and I can eat the froyo that I went in there for. I will work with them on that.
I don't think they asked though, mate. Celebrities are something else, aren't they? Like the really famous celebrities, they live in a different world. It's amazing.
That is something I'm dedicated to do because I want to make LA and this whole country a safer, and this whole fucking world a safer environment. I don't always get this right. I speak my mind, I'm opinionated, and then sometimes I get labeled as problematic. It's not because I'm looking out to... Everything that I'm doing is well-intentioned. You have to understand.
Well, look, things can start off with the best of intentions, but you have to be aware of the huge platform you have when you do these things, because it doesn't matter if you have the best of intentions if the end result is something like this. Am I crazy?
I just wanted to get that message across. It's really important that everyone hears that my intentions were not to come in and bully a small business. That was not it. I walked in, was so triggered that I left without froyo, and it made me really sad. If we can make this environment safer for everyone, including people that are in recovery from an eating disorder and just want a little froyo, if we can do that while also giving froyo to vegans and people with diabetes, let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's do it.
Thing is, she's speaking on behalf of everyone with an eating disorder, and then if you look at the top comments, there's a lot of people who just aren't agreeing, who also have eating disorders. As someone who recovered from ED, this is so embarrassing. I could never imagine being this entitled and harmful with a huge platform. I struggled with an eating disorder for 3 years, and this is the most absurd thing I've ever seen. Also, whilst I don't want to invalidate anyone's lived experience, lived truth, etc., it's a bit tone deaf right now to say I couldn't have my frozen yogurt and I was really sad and it ruined my weekend. Right now, when, people are wondering how they're going to pay rent because the pandemic has ruined their businesses, it's not helpful if celebrities with big platforms try to ruin small businesses too. Do you know what I mean? I understand, but at the same time, there is a bit of a time and a place.
But I was upset, and that's all that was. So I'm going to hang up now. You guys are awesome. Thanks for checking in. Being a celebrity is exhausting sometimes. So
maybe read the room a little bit more before complaining about how hard it is to... Yes, celebrities are real people with their own problems, but maybe read the room a tiny bit.
Today, I'm going to get off my phone. I'm going to shoot my podcast, go to work, do whatever I need to do. And you won't be hearing from me today because I need a mental health day. Peace.
Good for her.
Love you. Mean it. How do you end this thing? Oh, the X. Okay, bye.
Why do mainstream celebrities not know how to use technology? But all's well that ends well. The Big Chill have had thousands of people giving them support. Their menu is designed to accommodate customers' varying dietary needs and restrictions with its myriad fat, gluten, dairy and sugar-free products ranging from froyo to potato chips. So a store that's tried to be inclusive gets attacked for being exclusive, except not really. And Demi Lovato, hopefully she saved her weekend. I understand wanting to be against diet culture, believe me. I understand. I get it. You have my empathy there, sure. But I feel that Demi went about this in entirely the wrong place, singled out and attacked the wrong place, and made herself look a little bit silly. And unfortunately, with such a large platform as 100 million, requires a little bit more responsibility than just a knee-jerk reaction. But what do you guys think? Who do you think won? Frozen yogurt or Demi Lovato? That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe. I make new videos whenever I feel like it. Follow me on Instagram. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring today's video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.